My name is Braeden Tousson, and this is my cultural artifact speech. And so, band and lacrosse have been two of my favorite things growing up, due to me being in both of them for a very long time. Fun memory when I think of being in high school was the end of the season banquet that we'd have for lacrosse every year. This was mostly to recognize everybody who was on the team and different achievements throughout the season. One specific thing that happened every year was the captains would hand out gag gifts to the rest of the team, rest of the varsity team, including themselves and coaches. Anything from foam snake eyes to tape measures were free game as long as it had something to do with a specific quirk that a teammate had. And it was a very fun and memorable way for us to have a little bit of end of the season fun before the more serious awards were handed out, such as the varsity letters and conference awards, and also a way for parents to match the numbers with the faces that they'd been watching all season. And so for my cultural artifact, I brought my letter from high school. It is black and orange to signify our school colors, and the P, which stands for St. Louis Park, or Park as we're called. I chose this object partially because of all the fun memories that come rushing back when I see it. As most of you know, the letter is usually a high school's way of awarding a person for varsity time, and for me, it represents something much more. Represents not only the memories while growing up in St. Louis Park, but also the sense of community surrounding the object and the value that my community holds. So physically, the letter is used for letterman's jackets. For my high school, it's a form of showing achievement in a sport or activity. If you play sport in my high school, it's almost impossible not to letter at least once, making them a frequent sight. It's something that a lot of us have in common, and in that way, it brings community to the school and just looks alone. Not only that, but many people who live in St. Louis Park also graduate from the high school. So every once in a while you'll see an older person in their 50s, 60s wearing their letterman jacket from high school. Now that's how the artifact is physically used in the culture of St. Louis Park. But for myself, it's not only a reminder how much I enjoyed band lacrosse, but also represents two specific values that come to mind: open-mindedness and always being kind to others. These are two things that my community instills at a very young age, and two that I hold close, very dear to me. It was pushed on me not only by my community, but also my family as well. Because I've grown up with these specific set of values in mind, they are fundamental to who I am as a person and who I've grown to be. And I have St. Louis Park to thank for that. As stated before, the letter means much more to me than just a piece of fabric or a school's way of saying good job. To me, it represents saying much more. Not only my own memories growing up in St. Louis Park, but also the sense of community surrounding the object and the values that my community holds. It represents my community and where I come from, all those good memories, from lacrosse to gag gifts to my band trips, reside in this letter. And it's something that I'll have to cherish for a long time to come.